All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of Ruel. Peace and blessings and citations to the hopeful elect, the Bayat, the Wadah, the house of David. All right, so we're just going to jump right into it, okay? So this is the MSN Daily Mail, right? It says microchips, which we've been talking about, which is what's coming, which is here. It's here. You see, an implantable microchip, right? To track, trace, and control. You see? All right. So microchips can be put under prisoners' skin to track them, tech boss tells prison minister. All right. It says microchips could be inserted under the skin of offenders to track their movements, tech bosses have suggested. The proposal was put forward by tech bosses as a way of monitoring prisoners in real time and around the clock. The idea was suggested as part of the roundtable event with the prisoners' minister, Lord Timpson, right, and representatives from tech firms. Other ideas put forward include driverless prison vans and robot run jails. The meeting took place last year with the representatives from more than 30 companies, including Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, but details have only started to emerge now. Firms also suggested that AI could be used to predict the risk posed by certain individuals. Lord Timpson, all right, told the meeting that once in a generation reform is the only way we can truly deal with the scale of the crisis, cut crime, and speed up justice, right? It says, he added, I want technology to play an integral role, right, in tackling these problems and making our streets safer. And he told the tech bosses that the meeting was just the start of a new conversation between us and you. As you can see, the microchip right there, right? And we've been talking about this. We've been telling you this. This is going to happen. Why you think Revelation, the 13th chapter and the 17th verse, right, speaks about free and bond. You see, those who are free, those who are locked up, right? Because they're going to take that chip. They're going to give them a chip. They're going to offer them a chip, right, to either come home early, right, or in tracking and in prison. But anyway, it's going to be as they give them this chip to track them. You see? Okay. All right. It says the minutes of the secretive meeting were released to Fox Glove, a group that campaigns against the abuse of tech by governments and companies following the Freedom of Information request. The group told prison newspapers inside Time that ideas sound alarmingly dystopian. You see, they added it's worrying that justice ministers have set with the tech sector to discuss using robots to manage prisoners, implanting devices under people's skin to track their behavior, or using computers to predict what they will do in the future. And they had this, I did a video on it, right? It's called a cognitive prison, right? Where they would fast track a person, fast track a person's prison sentence. You see, with wiping their memory, and so on and so forth, man. Like it's crazy, man. Right? It's on my channel. You can go and find it if you would like. But it says the ministry, right, or the minister of justice keep most of the details of the meeting secret at the time, and of course he's going to, right? It says, but said that the discussion would focus on the potential for even more effective tracking of offender movement using data, right? And that's what it's all about, data. That's why they have data centers set up, okay? It says to aid probation officers to perform better risk assessments and whether digital platforms can help offenders rehabilitate and integrate back into society, cutting reoffending. The Lord Chancellor, what is that? Shah Bana Mahamud said at the time, we need bold ideas to address the challenges that we face, supporting our staff and delivering swifter justice for victims and cutting crime. Today we have an analog justice system in a digital age. The UK has a world leading and growing tech sector, and I know our tech firms have a huge role to play in delivering our plan for change to make streets safer. The MOJ said it was looking to follow up the meeting with an event open to the whole of the industry, inviting them to return and present their ideas to the department. While ministers ponder the future of prisons in 2 decades' time, new figures from the Ministry of Justice, the MOJ, showed 60,180 offenders were let out of prison into the streets in the first 16 months of Labor's soft justice program. The astonishing number covered releases under a scheme. It says launched by the Justice Secretary Sabana Mahamud. It says which allows criminals to be freed after serving just 40% of the sentence handed down by a court, with releases averaging more than 3,700 a month in the most recent quarter. It means that the true figure to have been freed so far is likely to be about 75,000. Just under 1,500 serious criminals who were sentenced to more than a decade in jail have now been released early, the new data showed. It says it said 490 of those freed so far have been handed sentences of 14 years or more, while 980 have been ordered to serve between 10 and 14 years. Shadow Justice Secretary Nick Timothy said criminals were being let out early as a deliberate, practical, political choice by a government too weak to build the prison places the country needs. All right, it says he added, still Labor press ahead with plans to abolish jury trials, the cornerstone of British justice, releasing criminals early and stripping defendants of the right to be judged by their peers. That is Labor criminal justice record. What the British public wants and expects is more criminals being locked up for longer. Prison works, but Labor are ideologically incapable of getting tough on crime. It says in January, the MOJ published an assessment which said jails would have run out of space as early as June the year if ministers have not introduced their current policies. It says labor sentence reforms will slow the projected rise in the prison population by 7,500 by 2028, it said. All right, so there you have it, right? So as you know, they're talking about pushing off that ship, which is in the scriptures right here. All right, let's read Revelation 13, and let's start at 15 first, right? And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed, right? So everybody's going to be tried, right? Revelation 3 and 10, right? Revelation 3 and verse number 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Now, let's go back to Revelation 13. You see? Revelation 13 and verse number 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. That's what I was just reading about. People being bonded, people being locked up, right? To receive a mark, that mark is charagma, in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right? So they're going to offer them that chip to come home at a decent time or come home early. right? So they can already have a track, trace, and control on them because of that RFID microchip, which is a radio frequency identification. You see? They'll know when they're getting ready to commit an offense, right? That's why they had, like I brought up, the cognitive prison. You see? But it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark of the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that haveth understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, right? 666, right? And his number is 600 which is the number of imperfection, right? Because that's this man's number. So, right, you take that microchip. All right, matter of fact, let me go back in here. Revelation, let's go to Revelation 16. Revelation 16 and 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore, right? Holocaust, right? Upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Okay? All right? This world, you love this world. Okay? Let's go to Revelation 16 and 10. It says, and the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain. Okay? And blasphemed the power, right? Yahweh of heaven, because of their pains and their sores, hellcoats, right? Ulcers, and repented not for their deeds. Okay? Revelation 14 and 9. So they take that chip, they're all going to be destroyed, right? You see the subhead. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, ICBM intercontinental ballistic missiles, right? And also the chariots, but they're going to shoot down concentrated fire. It says, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb is Yahushua, and the smoke of their torment is sent up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. The saints are Israelites, starting with the elect, okay? Because the elect is the elect is not going to take that chip, man. They're just not, okay? It says, and here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh and the faith of Yahushua. So, this was just a little quick one right here, straight into the point, talking about the chip, right? Which is, man, we not far off on this thing, man. It's coming. It's coming, man. Concentration camps, all these things of that nature, Revelation 2 and 10. Right? Fear none of those things, but thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. You see? And I ain't even have to go to the scripture because I know it off the top of the head. Right? So, hey, man. Hey, we living in some real serious times, man. We're living in some real serious times. We're living in some real beautiful times, but some real serious times, right? Because all things are about to come to a head. You see? So, right there, we're just going to end it. We're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Marakak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Ruel. Peace and blessings and citations to the hopeful elect, the Bayat Wadah, the house of David, Kwam Yasha'Allah, Abba Babal, repent ye, for the kingdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is at hand. Shalom.